that tonight what we're going to do, so that we can set the expectations a little bit, is I'm going to have an extended homily. So if you think it's the normal 5-minute one, you can leave now. And what I would like, and part of it's because I need to do it in both languages. El hecho es que tengo que hacer 2 idiomas, entonces la homilía va a estar un poquito más largo que normal. Entonces, pero no se preocupen, solamente va a durar 2 horas y media. Don't worry, it's only going to last 2 hours and a half. Hace un tiempo, not too long ago, conocí un hombre, uno de los hombres más ricos en el mundo. Not too long ago, I met one of the richest men in the world. And Mexicans are going to know his name. Se llama Patricio Slim, el hijo de Carlos Slim. The hijo of Carlos Slim, Patricio, who runs all the businesses of Patricio Slim in Mexico, or Carlos Slim. And it was a very interesting meeting. We were at a consecration with 64 bishops of the cross that I may have mentioned on Sunday, that we have on top of the mountain in Nicaragua. Estuvimos en el momento de la consagración de la cruz enorme en Nicaragua que mencioné los domingos. Él y yo estuvimos hablando del rosario y la necesidad de rezar el rosario. We were talking about the rosary and the need to pray the rosary. This man is the richest guy in the world and probably very busy. Un hombre sumamente ocupado. But he said that he remembered that in one of the apparitions of Our Lady, she said, you know, every Catholic really should work themselves up to the point where they can pray 3 rosaries a day. Él mencionó que en una de las apariciones de la Virgen invita a toda la gente, a todo el mundo, a rezar 3 rosarios al día. And he said to me, it's impossible. How can I do that? I'm Patricia Slim. I mean, I've got businesses that are worldwide that are huge, and people, rapping on my door from 5 in the morning until midnight. ¿Cómo puedo hacerlo? Me parece imposible, porque no hay tiempo por un hombre de negocio tan como yo. But he said this. He said, "Decidí intentar. I decided to try." He decided to try. He took Our Lady at her word. He looked around at our times, miró a nuestro tiempo, a nuestra época actual, and he realized Our Lady from Fatima to Medjugorje to Lourdes, everywhere that she appears, she asks simple things. That we pray, that we fast, that we get close to the sacraments, and then we pray in particular the rosary. La Virgen siempre en sus apariciones sobre los siglos, especialmente Fátima, Lourdes, Medjugorje y Lourdes, nos pide orar y acercarnos a los sacramentos y en particular rezar el rosario. Es una receta por nuestra época actual. It's a recipe for the darkness that we encounter in our times. I don't know if you noticed, but we live in some pretty crazy times. Am I right? Yes. Am I right? Yes. Vivimos en tiempos rarísimos, ¿no? ¿De verdad? Como no? I don't need to prove that. Okay? We don't need to talk about the news. All you have to do is think about it a little bit. And she gives us a recipe. Ella nos dio una receta cómo vencer los momentos como nuestros. What I'd like to do tonight is tell you why the rosary is so powerful. It's one thing to know that, okay, they're telling me to pray the rosary again. It's another thing to understand why. Because if I have the key to why, then I'm going to want to do it. Because I'm going to realize, as we used to say in sales, the Whiffen principle. What's in it for me? Si conozco la razón del por qué rezamos el rosario, será más fácil para mí decidir rezar 1, 2 o 3 rosarios en el día. Si sepa el por qué, entonces voy a tener el ánimo de realmente hacer la obra. Okay? So why is it important to enter into the power of the rosary? I mean, there's like 90 letters of popes en writings of popes on the rosary. Hay 90 cartas de los papas sobre el rosario. There's some reason why we should be praying. You know, Our Lady calls for the Pope's sake, right? The first principle we need to hold in our mind is the idea of memory. La primera idea que necesitamos grabar es la memoria. Una idea judea, a Jewish idea of memory. When a Jew, we come out to Pascha, the Pesach, in Hebrew, Easter. 5 languages. We had Greek earlier, we had Spanish. Okay, a little bit of Hebrew. When the Jews, like in the first reading, when they review in the scriptures the memory of their history, cuando los judíos recuerdan su historia en las escrituras, y especialmente en oración, and especially in prayer, in a liturgical setting like the Passover meal, it's not just a memory of something that happened thousands of years ago. They become present, spiritually speaking, to the reality of what occurred. Se cambia, es como una máquina de tiempo, porque están presentes, no solamente recordar lo que sucedió hace años, sino es entrar en la realidad de lo que sucedió hace años. Es como una máquina de tiempo, it's like a time machine. We have the same idea in Mass. When we talk about Jesus on the cross and the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross, he's not sacrificed again and again and again and again, crucified again and again and again and again. No, we're made present to the one sacrifice that happened 2,018 years ago, more or less, or whatever. My math isn't good. We're made present to that. When we enter into the Mass, cuando entramos en la misa, estamos hechos presentes al sacrificio de Jesucristo en la cruz. No es que Él está sacrificado de nuevo, crucificado de nuevo, dice las Escrituras. The Bible says that. So it's kind of like we're pulled out of time. Come on, what is there? How can that be? And I'm going to ask you to stretch your imaginations here, because it's not easy. Because we're human beings and we're used to time that works in a long sequence. Siendo seres humanos, estamos acostumbrados al tiempo que está enseguida, un tiempo de línea, ¿no? Entonces hay que estresar su mente un poquito. How can it be? One, God doesn't live inside of time. He lives outside of time. El Dios no vive dentro del tiempo, sino fuera del tiempo. Okay? Dos, number 2, Jesús, es Dios y hombre. Y siendo hombre, Jesus being man, lived 2,000 years ago in time, but in su divinity, en su divinidad, Él fue Dios. Entonces, dentro del tiempo y fuera del tiempo a la vez, inside and outside of time at the exact same time, if you could say it. Because his humanity, his divinity is one thing. I mean, it became one, 2 things, but you know what I mean? One person uniting the 2. Okay? So hold on to that. You're going to go, what am I going to do with that? Okay, I don't know what else. Okay? Just wait. We'll get there. So if I am made present to the moments of his life through the liturgy and the prayer, si estoy hecho presente a los momentos de la vida de Cristo por medio de la oración, then if I am in contact with, that puts me in contact with him across time. In my time, I'm directly connected with him out of time. En mi tiempo estoy conectado con él fuera del tiempo. Es como una miradita de los ojos. It's like looking at somebody in the eyes. What can you communicate by looking through the eyes? A ton of information, right? See, if I capture the eyes of Jesus through prayer, if I open my soul to his presence in meditation, in the Eucharist, even if it's for half a second, then he looks at me and I look at him and he communicates something to me today from that moment 2,000 years ago. Entonces, Él, si yo capto sus ojos, si yo miro a los ojos de Jesús sobre los siglos, en un sentido, por medio de abrir mi alma a Él, entonces Él puede comunicar algo a mí. Es como una pareja que puede mirar y decir un montón sin decir palabras, ¿verdad? It's like a couple who can communicate without saying many words or any words, but can communicate a ton just by looking, right? That's happened to you, right? Yeah? Of course, you're human, right? The point of prayer, the reason of prayer, is to catch the eye of Jesus. La razón que oramos es capturar el ojo de Jesús, la mirada, right? Or better to say, to let Him catch our eye, because He's trying to catch our eye all day long, every day. O mejor decir que Él capte el ojo nuestro, porque Él quiere captar nuestro mirada. Why is that important? I don't know about you, but the salvation that Jesus won for me 2,000 years ago, I need today. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow, I'm not promised tomorrow. That might happen, that might not happen. But today, I need His salvation. Yo y tú necesitamos la salvación del Señor hoy mismo. No solamente ayer ya pasó, mañana no existe. Entonces, yo necesito la salvación y la gracia que Él ganó para mí hace 2000 años, hoy. Y cada día, and every day, I need that grace. In His divinity, this is the third point you need to really hold on in your mind. In His divinity, en su divinidad, es muy importante este punto. Él tenía aquí en su mente particularmente. Yo les dije el domingo que Dios no ama a todos de ustedes, sino cada uno. I said the other day on Sunday that Jesus doesn't love all of you. He loves each one of them. And so He had you in particular in His mind 2,000 years ago. Every moment of His life, from the moment He was conceived, even before, He was thinking of you. Personally, not mankind globally. Él pensaba en tu persona, individualmente, desde el momento de su concepción hasta su muerte y en el momento actual, even right now, of course. He holds you personally as if you were the only person on the planet that ever existed. He can focus that. And in His humanity and divinity combined in history, every moment of His life, He was thinking of you, saying, I'm doing it for Him. I'm doing it for her. Cada momento de la vida de Jesucristo en su tiempo en esta tierra, Él estuvo pensando en tu persona y decir, lo hago para ella, lo hago para Él, lo hago de todo mi corazón. I do it all for Him, for her. So if that's true, and this is a fact, because that's what the church teaches in the catechism, right? God didn't come to save mankind. What is that? He came to save individuals. If He did that, and He had me in His mind every day of His life, He knows my day today. He knows what I need today. Él sabe lo que yo necesito hoy. Él conoce mi día de hoy, mi día actual. Not just my life, generally. No, me today. What are my needs today? And every day of my life, I had an opportunity to open myself and to catch His eye and to receive the graces that He wants to pour into my soul across eternity and time. Cada día yo tengo oportunidad de abrirme mi alma para recibir las gracias que Él quiere derramar en mi alma en este día, sobre la eternidad y sobre el tiempo. That's really amazing if you think about it. If you just meditate on that a little bit, right? That it's not just this global, yeah, Jesus came to save us, no. He came to save you, and He came to save you today. And He has particular graces for you today because your day today is different than every other day in your life. Él tiene gracias particulares por tu vida hoy, porque su día de hoy es diferente de cualquier otro día de tu vida. Imagínense. So the rosary is the means outside of the Mass to gain access to those graces. That's why the rosary is so powerful. If I'm able to simply dilate my soul, as Blessed Maria of Agreda would say, and catch his eye, or rather let him catch my eye, then he's able, in a little look, to penetrate my heart, my day to day. Si yo simplemente abro mi corazón, dialogo mi corazón, como Santa Beata María Agreda dijo, para que Él pueda capturar mi ojo, Él puede comunicar a mis ojos, a mi alma, la gracia que Él quiere derramar en mí. Este es el poder del rosario. Meditar en una escena de la vida de Cristo es ponerme en la presencia de Él en un momento de su vida, cuando Él digo, esto yo tengo para fulano o fulano. To meditate in the rosary is powerful because what it is I'm saying, okay, I want to meditate in one aspect of his life, one scene that he has particular graces that he wants to give to me from that moment. In his conception, I'm going in for Johnny. I'm going into the human race for him. Right? Today, there's a particular grace that he wants to give me from his conception. It's a different one than I'll receive tomorrow if I meditate on his conception. Hoy, Él quiere derramar una gracia en particular por meditar en cada misterio que hay. Y mañana hay gracias diferentes. Los mismos misterios. Pero mi día actual es diferente, entonces hay gracias diferentes. My day is different, so the graces that he wants to give me are different. Because he knows me today. Not just globally. Does that make sense? A little bit? I hope so. Because if we can grab that, there's no reason why we won't want to pray the rosary more. Si captemos esto, no hay razón, ninguna razón que no vamos a querer rezar el rosario más y más y más. Ahora, algunas ideas prácticas, ¿verdad? Now some practical ideas, right? We have the theory and the reason why, and la teoría del por qué, but ¿cómo? How do we pray the rosary? No debemos rezar el rosario como máquina. We shouldn't be praying the rosary like a machine. Right? We need to try to open our soul. Hay que abrir el alma un poquito. If I don't, como San Juan Pablo II dijo, si yo no intento meditar o por lo menos poner en mi mente la escena por medio segundo del misterio, es schizophrenic. John Paul II said it's schizophrenic not to try to see the scene that you're meditating on even for a second. It's schizophrenic. It's like, what are you doing? You separated the heart and soul of the rosary. Right? So, does that mean I have to be bouncing off the ceiling in meditation and contemplation the whole time for the rosary? No, that's unrealistic. But it does mean that I need to at least, just like the old style cameras where they have the little thing that opened up, the shutter, a lot of light and information gets passed through the shutter of the camera, right? If the shutter of your soul goes back and you catch that eye of Jesus for a half second or less, he can communicate a ton of information in your soul. La apertura de un cámara vieja, ¿verdad? Si abre rápido, pero un montón de luz y información pasa por eso y comunica un montón de información. Y si capta los ojos de Jesús, así, ¡pam! Él puede comunicar un montón en tu corazón. So we just need to, just at least see it, right? Just try. And then we pray our Hail Marys. How long do you think it takes to do one day of the rosary? ¿Cuánto dura una decena de rosario? Una decena. ¿Cuánto? Una decena. 10 Ave Marías, una Padre Nuestro. 10 Hail Marys and Our Father. How long does that last? 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay? 3. Not 15. I'm talking about adding on extra prayer. I mean, they probably add on extra prayer. They even make those Hail Mary ones. I don't know how they do it, adding stuff. No hablo de algo extendido. 3 minutos dura una decena de rosario. Nada más. No hablo de las oraciones extra. Okay? If I can sacrifice 3 minutes now and again over the day, I'll have a rosary done very easily. 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 3 minutes there. Si sacrifico 3 minutos de vez en cuando sobre el día, soy facilísimo hacer un rosario. Y si yo miro a mi día, yo puedo aumentar hasta 3 rosarios en un día. If I look at the day really, and look at the little 3-minute packages, it's easy to find time and accustom myself to praying 3 full rosaries in a day so that I can capture all the graces and all those mysteries that Jesus has for me today. Are you with me? You're stunned. 3 rosaries, Father? How am I going to do that? 3 rosarios, imposible. Right? It's not impossible. Those of you who drive, how many of you commute to work in 15 minutes or more? Raise your hand. ¿Cuántos viajan a su trabajo 15 minutes, 15 minutos or more? Muchos. So every time there's a commercial on the radio that lasts at least 3 minutes. That's one decade of the road. Cada vez cuando está en el carro escuchando las noticias y hay los anuncios duran 3 minutos. Eso no es decena, ¿eh? Entonces haga su decena y después puede escuchar las noticias de nuevo. You can listen to the news after your decade. You don't want to listen to all those advertisements anyway, right? We can find a ton of time. 3 minutes in the line and back, usually that's 15, right? Or more. So there's no really excuse not to pray the rosary, especially if we spread it out over the day. No hay ninguna regla que hay que hacer todo el paquete del rosario en un solo paquete. There's no rule that you have to do all of the mysteries together in one shot. Nobody ever said that. Pope Benedict would spread his rosary out all the day because he couldn't concentrate very well because everybody's knocking on his door all day. Right? 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 3 minutes there. Easy. But why is it important? What's in it for me? ¿Qué es la importancia de hacer eso? ¿Qué recibo yo? Bueno, la gracia que yo necesito hoy, que Jesús tiene en su corazón para derramar a mí, yo no sé qué es, pero si es importante a Él, debe ser importante a mí. I don't know what He's gained from me, but whatever He gained from me, if it's important to Him, it's so important that He became man and has me in mind, I better want to meditate on that and at least let Him try to communicate it to me, right? But what happens when I do it? I'll tell you what Patricio Slim said. Patricio Slim told me that he took up the challenge to try to pray the 3 rosaries a day. And he found that when he started to do that, and he did it wisely. Patricio Slim me dijo que él empezó de hacer los 3 rosarios, pero lo hizo primero hay que gatear antes de que pueda caminar, antes de que uno pueda correr. You gotta crawl before you walk and walk before you run. So he started to do it this way. 1 month, he would do 1 rosary a day. Un mes, un rosario a day. Y después de acostumbrarse así, 2 rosarios, un mes más. So after doing 1 month of 1 rosary, he would do 2 the second month. After he got used to that, he added a 3rd one in the 3rd month. El tercer mes aumentó el tercer rosario durante el día. Pudo ver que fue posible acostumbrarse y meter el rosario durante el día. You could see that it was possible where to fit it in, right? ¿Y qué sucedió? What happened? He said this, and these are the words almost exactly. I realized that once I started to pray the rosary every day, that Our Lady went before me and blew away all the problems that I had. The things that made my day complicated and frustrating were just blown away. It's not that I didn't have problems, but I had somebody going before me, knocking down the problems before they even got to me. Imagine that. Do you want somebody fighting for you? You know. Él dijo que después de empezar a hacer los 3 rosarios, pudo ver que la Virgen estuvo yendo en adelante de él para conquistar cualquier problema antes de que el problema lo tocó. Imagínense, quiere alguien en su esquina que va a ayudarte en su batalla. ¿Cómo no? Es la razón que la Virgen está. The reason Our Lady came, and the reason why she offers the rosary, is because when I ask for those graces that Jesus gained for me, they penetrate my life, my day to day, and they help me in whatever my situation is. And the devil doesn't have as much chance to get a hold of me. And it confused things. Y el diablo no tiene tanto poder sobre mí. That's why the rosary is so powerful. It's allowing the Lord to go before me. And he said this finally. He said, I finally realized after doing 3 rosaries a day, me, Patricius Lenten, one of the most busy people on the planet, that I don't have time not to pray 3 rosaries a day. Because now when I pray 3 rosaries a day, and I sacrifice the 45 minutes throughout the day that it takes to pray, I actually want to have an extra time at the end of the day and I can read a book. Imagine that, right? If your day were able to go so much more smoothly that you had extra time at the end of the day, wouldn't that be great? Does anybody not want that? Imagínense, el Patricio me dijo que si ahora, después de hacer el reto de los 3 rosarios, puede decir que él no tiene el tiempo de no hacer 3 rosarios, porque él gana tanto tiempo al fin del día que él puede leer un libro simplemente por el placer. Imagínense. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? All the grace that Jesus gained for me. What's in it for me? Pray the rosary. What's in it for me? Salvation. What's in it for me? Our Lady going before me and knocking down the enemy. That's pretty cool stuff. And all it takes is a little bit of discipline and looking for the time. I guarantee every one of us has the time. We have time for a lot of nonsense. We spend much of our time all day long swatting flies with our minds. Gastamos un montón de tiempo durante el día matando moscas con nuestra mente. Hay bastante tiempo durante el día que uno puede hacer, por lo menos un rosario. So I give you the challenge. If you're not doing any rosaries at all, take up the challenge and start with 1 a day. Maybe less than that, 1 good rosary a day. And then after 3-4 weeks, a second. Work your way up. Make it a plan. Follow the plan. May it not just be in Lent, because you'll see the Lord going before you. Yo les hago el reto que haga un rosario cada día por lo menos, que comience, ¿verdad? No solamente por el Cuaresma, sino por todo el año, porque en la época actual necesitamos todas las armas posibles para vencer sobre las tinieblas, ¿no? La Virgen nos dio una receta en Fátima cómo conquistar las tinieblas que se aprovechen. Our Lady gave us a recipe how to defeat the darkness in our times. The rosary is integral to this. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it, or you're missing out.